By Sunday afternoon, the discovery beneath the old cedar tree had become the greatest secret in Ash House. David, Peter, Simon and Andrew had agreed not to tell another soul. "If word gets round," David whispered during breakfast, "half the school will be there before lunchtime." The others nodded. Highdon was a place where rumours travelled faster than the wind across the Sussex hills. After chapel, the four boys slipped quietly towards the gardens, carrying only a torch, a length of string, and a notebook borrowed from the library. The old cedar stood exactly as they had left it. Together they lifted the heavy stone. The narrow passage below smelled of damp earth and old brickwork. "It must be centuries old," Peter murmured. David shone the torch ahead. The tunnel stretched away into darkness. Meanwhile, the ordinary routine of Highdon continued above their heads. Miss Bowflower, the formidable headmistress, was making her customary Sunday inspection of the grounds. Tall, silver-haired, and always immaculately dressed, she believed that order and discipline were the foundations upon which the school had been built. Her study contained little more than shelves of books, neat files, and two well-known reminders of Highdon's traditions: a black rubber-soled carpet slipper kept in the top drawer of her desk, and a slender school cane hanging inside a polished oak cupboard. Neither was displayed for effect, but every boy at Highdon knew they were there. Miss Bowflower was known for being firm rather than hasty. Minor offences might earn a stern lecture, extra duties, or detention, while repeated disobedience or serious breaches of school rules could still, on occasion, lead to formal corporal punishment in accordance with the school's long-established regulations. She believed punishment should be calm, measured, and never administered in anger, though few boys found that knowledge especially comforting when they were summoned to her study. Mrs. Bellamy was helping several younger boys write letters home. Miss Blyton was preparing Monday's English lessons. Miss Harcourt, as always, ensured every dormitory was in perfect order before evening. Highdon remained a traditional boarding school, where reminders of its long history could still be found in every corridor and classroom. Although the slipper and cane remained part of the school's disciplinary code, attitudes beyond the school gates were steadily changing during the 1970s. Increasingly, many staff believed that good teaching, encouragement and consistency achieved far more than punishment alone, even if the older customs had not yet entirely disappeared. Down in the tunnel, the boys discovered old wooden shelves carved into the walls. Most were empty. One, however, held a small leather-bound book coated with decades of dust. Andrew carefully lifted it. Inside were neat handwritten entries dating back more than 80 years. "Their names," Simon said quietly. "Former pupils." David turned another page. Each boy had written a short account of life at Highdon: school matches, memorable teachers, snowstorms, theatrical performances, and practical jokes that had become school legends. One entry ended with a sentence that made them all smile. "Some traditions deserve to remain forever, others are best left in the past." What do you suppose he meant? Peter wondered. Before anyone could answer, the chapel bell echoed through the passage. Even underground they could hear it. "Evensong," David said. "We'd better go." The boys carefully returned the diary to its shelf. As they climbed back into the afternoon sunlight, Andrew looked once more towards the chapel. "It feels as though the school has been keeping its own history hidden from us." David smiled. "Perhaps that's exactly what it's been doing." As they replaced the stone beneath the cedar tree, none of them noticed Miss Bowflower watching from a distant window. The headmistress recognized the old diary immediately. She had discovered it herself many years before, as a young mistress at Highdon, long before she had become headmistress. She knew exactly what the boys had found, and she also knew that somewhere deeper within the forgotten passages beneath the school lay another secret that had remained undisturbed for generations. For a brief moment, the usually stern headmistress allowed herself the faintest smile. "The school chooses its own time," she murmured quietly, "and perhaps that time has come again."